Want to move to Houston? Don't move here unless you can handle these things. Today, we're talking about the top problems living in Houston, Texas, and I'm going to give you a comprehensive overview of the most common complaints that most people have living here in Houston. So if you're thinking about moving to Houston, Texas, this video is for you. Traffic. One of the biggest complaints about Houston is the traffic. Houston is a very large city, the fourth largest in America, and with a lot of people, that means that there's a lot of traffic. Traffic can be especially bad during rush hour, and it can make it difficult to get around the city. The places that I recommend avoiding are the 59 and 610 interchange. This is often called the West Loop. It's a major artery that connects downtown Houston to the suburbs, and it's often congested, especially during rush hour. Another problem area is I-45. This is the major north-south highway in Houston, and it gets really congested going north from downtown as you're going up towards Spring. The worst part of I-45 is outside of downtown at the Pierce Elevated, where many different highways converge. You've got 59, 45, and 288 all meeting in one spot, and that causes a lot of traffic. With traffic comes toll roads, and they can help to alleviate some traffic, but they can also be expensive. The cost of using a toll road can vary depending on the road and the time of day. There are a total of 15 toll roads in Houston, including the Fort Bend Parkway, which is considered to be one of the most expensive toll roads here in the United States. In order to drive on toll roads, you'll need an easy tag toll pass or cash, but cash and change isn't accepted at all toll locations in Houston. Some people argue that toll roads are unfair. They say that people who cannot afford to pay for tolls are at a disadvantage, and they also argue that they can create like a two-tiered system, with those who can afford to pay having a faster and easier commute than those who cannot. At the end of the day, though, it's generally a great situation to be able to get places faster. Number 3 is heat and humidity. Houston is located in the southern United States, and the weather can be very hot and humid. The summer months are especially hot, and the humidity can make it feel even hotter. If you're not used to hot and humid weather, it can be difficult to adjust living in Houston. In the summer, if you don't have to be outside, I wouldn't go outside unless you're at the pool or right next to a fan. Number 4 is pollution. Houston is a large city, and that means there's a lot of pollution. The air quality in Houston is not as good as it could be, and could be a problem for people with respiratory or breathing problems. Houston's a super car-dependent city, so many people don't rely on public transportation, and they take cars and trucks to get around Houston. And we also have buses, so those also impact the air quality here in Houston. Number 5, public transportation. Houston's public transportation system is not as good as it could be. There are buses and we have the Metro Rail, but they don't always go where you need to go. If you don't have a car, you'll need to plan out your commute very carefully. Number 6 is a lack of zoning. Houston is one of the few major cities here in the United States that does not have zoning laws. There are both pros and cons to Houston's lack of zoning. Some pros are that there are more flexibility for developers. Developers have the ability to build what they want, where they want, pretty much anywhere in the city. And this can lead to more innovation and creativity, but it also means lower costs for businesses. So Houston businesses often pay lower costs than in cities with zoning, and zoning can add to the cost of development, as developers must comply with a variety of different regulations and rules from like the city and the state. It can also mean affordable housing. So Houston has a higher rate of more affordable housing than many of the major cities here in the United States. This is partly due to the lack of zoning, which does make it easier to build affordable housing, but it can also mean less predictable development, and it can also mean more traffic and congestion when you're living right next to a commercial space. Number 7 is flooding. Houston is located in a floodplain, and the city is prone to flooding. In recent years, we've been hit by several major floods, causing billions of dollars in damage. There are a number of factors that contribute to flooding in Houston, like rainfall. While we normally get an average of 50 inches of rain per year, some parts of Houston got that amount in 2017 during Hurricane Harvey in just one weekend. Since we're located on the Gulf Coast, the city can be vulnerable to storm surge from hurricanes. Houston's drainage system throughout the city isn't really designed to handle large amounts of rain. So as a homeowner, you need to pay attention to the flood maps. You need to pay attention to prior flooding in that area and for that particular property, and then the drainage and gutters and French drains in and around the area. And as the city has grown, more land has been paved over, which reduces the amount of water that can be absorbed into the ground. Again, you can better understand flood risk by checking out the FEMA flood maps for the greater Houston area. We also recommend that all buyers purchase flood insurance to help pay for the cost of repairs if your home or business is damaged by flooding. Number 8, Property taxes. Taxes in Houston can be higher because we do not have state income tax. We are one of 9 states here in the United States that don't have a state income tax, and because of this, we rely on property taxes to generate revenue. The average tax rate in Texas throughout the entire state is 1.8%, which is the 7th highest rate in the United States. Depending on where you live, tax rates are going to vary. In town, they're normally around 2 to 2.5%. Suburbs like Cypress, Katy, Pearland, Humboldt, and others are 2% for the older communities, but closer to 3% in master plan communities like Bridgeland, Ellison, Cane Island, Balmoral, places like that. Keep in mind, you're also going to be able to file a homestead exemption and protest your taxes to keep them as low as possible once you actually live here. Houston is a great city with a lot to offer. However, there are some things that you should be aware of before you move here. If you can deal with these things, then it's probably the right place for you.